Witch's Hill.
So a while back, I actually pulled a really bad prank on Rollo.
Yeah.
And he didn't really care too much for it at the time. This is back when, what was it? Dawn of the Dead, the remake of Dawn of the Dead first came out. And I was in the middle of watching it. I finished the movie. He actually came over right at like one of the end scenes. And I had the DVD put in. So I was watching some of the extras, and one of the things that came across was the newsreel that they had in the actual movie. You could actually watch it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was actually really neat. So I started playing it, but him and I were in the middle of a conversation. I kind of did it without him looking. And so we're sitting there conversing back and forth, and I wondered if I could pull a prank on him. So I instantly turned my focus to the TV, just like, holy shit, what'd they say? And so he starts watching. And suddenly, I realized that I had this golden opportunity to pull a prank on Rollo with the zombie apocalypse. So I did.
Oh.
This went on for maybe 2 hours. Because the first like 45 minutes, hour type thing, we're watching the newsreel, just conversing back and forth, and when he's not looking, I keep pressing the back button. So that way it seems longer than it actually is. And so we're sitting there, and it gets to the point where I'm just like, oh my god, this is happening in Chicago. And I freak out, and I grab the controller, and I like turn off the TV. So him and I go into the backyard, and I start like pacing back and forth, like, dude, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Like, they're gonna obviously expand out from the city. I mean, there's like how many fucking people in Chicago alone?
You really took it seriously.
I wanted to see how far I could take it. You know me. And
how far did you take it? Let's summarize. How far did you take it?
It got to the point where we're in the backyard. He's trying to go down to warn his mom and his dad.
Yeah.
And me being me, I'm convincing him not to. Like, no, there's no time. We have to prepare now. Like, we can't go down there. No. Even though it's like, 4 blocks away. Like, realistically, he could just fucking ran there in like no time. But like, I kept him there and just like trying to be like, dude, we need to figure something out. And he's kind of like started freaking out a little bit, but he just ran with it the entire fucking time.
Oh my god. That's sorry there, Meat Eggy.
I'm always watching and waiting for the zombie apocalypse, so...
Because Pat instilled it into you to always fear it.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, vaguely.
I was gonna say, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's been a while. It was like, we were like 14, 15. Somewhere around there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that is the zombie apocalypse, and...
That's a quinkydink, is it not?
I would say it's a quinkydink.
Considering today you told me that this episode was going to be long and sexy.
I did say it was going to be long and sexy. I find it sexy because anything erotic just like, So, I can't speak for you. Hello and welcome back to Witch's Hill. I'm Pat.
I'm Tim.
And we're here with Meat Hanky and Matt.
Hello.
Hello.
And today we're starting our new segment called Myths and Legends, where we find the roots of some of horror's most iconic monsters and ideas. But before we get into it, if you have any inquiries, you can contact us at witcheshillradio@gmail.com. And why not join us upon an episode, where we occasionally record on Facebook Live at facebook.com/witcheshillradio.
We've had a lot of fun doing those episodes, so we want to keep giving them to you guys. And it's really cool having the fans on there actually, contributing to the episodes. We like tailoring everything to what you like. We're so giving.
Yes, and I think the last episode that we did was all about the paranormal and some of the things that we've experienced that we can't quite explain.
Yeah, and that story from Matt.
Yes. Shout out to Matt Jed once again for letting us share one of his experiences with the world.
Yeah.
But today, with the myths and legends, we're going to go back a little bit, and we're going to learn about the zombie.
Oh, so that's how they brought it back. Yeah, that's right. That's what we were talking about at the beginning.
Reviving it, coming full circle.
Yeah.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
We revived. See, get it?
Hey, zombie jokes.
Hey.
Dead upon arrival.
Hey!
Just like that, we're back. Anyway, the word zombie comes from West Africa in the early 19th century, but also has ties to the Congo, where the word Nzambi, I don't know if I'm even pronouncing that right.
Nzambi?
Yeah, Nzambi. The word meaning spirit of the dead person. The term zombie or zombie, or however you really pronounce it or spell it, apparently originally also referred to a snake god in the voodoo religion. So saith the Oxford Dictionary.
So saith.
So saith.
I like that. That's exactly how you wrote it too.
Yeah.
That's well done, sir. Well done.
Oh, it was fun. I got into the zone about this. I love zombies. The zombie apocalypse, I think, has touched every kid's heart at some point.
Yeah.
Whether if it's out of pure fear or just enjoyment.
And how many zombie shorts have we made? I don't even know.
Too many, and none of which the world has really seen. As time goes on, meanings change from the definition of zombie. In voodoo, it's said to be a corpse that is revived by witchcraft. This is associated with certain religions in African and Caribbean cultures. In today's world, we view the zombie to be a reanimated being that feasts on the flesh of the living. And in some renditions, they crave brains and, yes, talk. I'm looking at you, Return of the Living Dead 1985. Look at the brains!
I have that comic.
Oh, dude, it was fun. It was a fun movie. I recommend any zombie fan to see that if you already haven't. But the philosophy behind the zombie is that the being would respond to stimuli, however, it does not experience consciousness. Though, what is consciousness anyway? But that's a whole nother topic. We can't even define that.
No.
So, we're not going to talk about it because, no.
Smarter men than us have tried and failed.
Yes.
At least we can, face that sad sentence.
Which sad sentence?
We're not smart enough.
No. No, we're not.
I'll expect that.
No one was going to trust me with a scalpel and a fund.
Not after they've seen half the videos we've put online.
Yeah, look at what we're going to make. Let me be a doctor. No, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But the zombie has made an impact on societies the world over, even gaining its own mixed drink with rum and other liquors like fruit juices and stuff.
The zombie is so fucking good.
I have yet to try it, but
it's
I've
I
heard
had
amazing
it.
things.
I had it on my 21st birthday. I haven't had it really since.
However, some speculate that the origin of the zombie came back in the 17th century, while others believe that the Greeks technically originated the fear of the zombie. Not the word, but the belief that a person could actually come back from the dead and somehow attack the living.
Were they just afraid of Jesus? When Jesus rose up?
I mean, if everybody was believing in that, I would be kind of freaked out. Just and you guys are just okay with that? What the fuck?
That's a hot take. We got it right here.
Yeah, just, oh my god, uh-oh. Yeah, I guess that puts a whole new spin on things. Just everybody fearing Jesus.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my god.
The original necromancer.
And his corpse still wanders the world to this day.
Speaking of digging graves, graves from ancient Greece have indicated that bodies were once laid to rest, but with heavy stones and other objects to keep them pinned down.
Because we don't want no zombies here.
No, we can't have them eating people.
I mean, that's a good way to fight back against it. I would assume that, a rotting corpse can't punch through rock.
I would hope not, but I mean, back in that, type of, belief, I guess it's magic that brings them back, and who knows what are the limitations of magic. Maybe they have, some kung fury power.
We don't even know their true form.
We don't.
Is that their final form?
I don't know. I feel them powering up.
We need our scouters.
From the grave.
Too bad we don't have scouters.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, because we need that for the undead.
Yeah. What's its power level?
0! But it has an axe, sir. And then you get killed, obviously, because it's a fucking zombie. Or at least in today's society. However, in Haiti, when West African slaves were brought over to work on the harsh conditions of the sugarcane plantations, the work was such torture that a zombie became a representation of the horrors of slavery.
Fitting.
Right?
Yeah.
I can actually see that. And that actually changed my whole, whoa. It blows my mind knowing that. Voodoo had a play in this as well. As time went on, the myth that the zombie became a real belief. As some practitioners of voodoo believed that people could actually be brought back to life by someone known as a bokor or a bakor. I don't. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to pronounce that. Bokor.
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 Sure.
Let's just roll with it.
Let's roll with that.
Yes. The reason for this is that in the voodoo religion, Bokors have a history of making remedies and other concoctions, one of which is known as the zombie powder, which is to have tetrodotoxin in it, which is found in pufferfish and other species in the sea. Though they would carefully dose you as to not kill you.
So wait, that's the thing that dolphins get high on?
Maybe. Oh my god.
They pass around pufferfish like they're getting fucking stoned, and then they're all like swimming all weird. They're getting high. So that's what they're getting high on.
Man, jellyfish are gateway drugs.
No, pufferfish.
Pufferfish. That's what I meant. I don't know why I thought of jellyfish. I just thought of weird tentacles just shaking. And
So I remember seeing some of those videos of like that powder. It's supposed to just make you fucking just like you're not there. You're completely susceptible to suggestion, basically.
Exactly. The effects of the zombie powder would give you difficulty walking, respiratory problems, and of course mental confusion. An illusion could be cast in the fact that if you were given too much of this, you'd appear dead and slip into a coma, and obviously be paralyzed. So people would think that you're dead and then bury you alive, just to be brought back by someone, and by, just the occurrence of everything, it'd give the imitation that a zombie has risen from the grave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it would wear off. Well, because it would actually wear off for like the most part.
Not so fast there, cowboy.
Oh.
Yeah, put your meat back in your purse.
Oh, okay.
It is noted that the belief goes that the subject will be under the Bokor's power until the Bokor dies.
Okay.
Yes. So, I don't know if that changes between just using a powder, like if you're not in part of that religion, but you buy zombie powder, or if you made it yourself. Are they under your control, or not? Like I'm trying to start an army, but. Let's say.
Not at all.
Not at all. Don't look at me. Anyway, back to zombies. As said on History.com, a 1997 article in the British medical journal The Lancet described 3 verifiable accounts of zombies.
Really?
Yes. In one case, a Haitian woman who appeared to be dead was buried in a family tomb, only to reappear 3 years later. An investigation revealed that her tomb was actually filled with stones, and her parents agreed to have her admitted to a hospital.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not
evil.
Really, that's not a zombie.
No, but the whole belief about somebody being, buried and then reappearing.
So they just fucked with the rest of the village.
Let's hold your horses, man. You got too many horses and they're just running around.
They like to roam free.
They're galloping all over my yard.
Well, fuck your yard.
Man. Yeah, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah? You like zombies?
I love zombies.
Good.
I was thinking of the whole idea of burying and then having to dig them up. It's how they used to have there were some people who were in Victorian age were so afraid of that they'd have bells.
Yeah, I guess you're a bird alive.
Now, I'm just imagining one of these zombies under the control of the Bokor or something like that.
Bokor.
Someone goes to some good Samaritan goes to free this person, only to end up getting fucking axed as soon as they freed him.
Yeah, who knows what would happen, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
That'd
if
be
they got
fucked.
buried with an axe, it'd be terrifying.
Oh my god, you guys just make me start thinking about Resident Evil 4. When they switch from zombies to these crazy people holding hatchets and shit.
Yeah.
Under the control of somebody else. I mean, that's the whole game. Oh man, that's interesting. I never thought about it like that. Anyway, in one of the other cases, in another well-documented case, a Haitian man named Clairvius Narcisse, I think I'm pronouncing that last name correct. So yeah, Clairvius Narcisse entered a local hospital with severe respiratory problems back in 1962. After he slipped into a coma, Narcisse was declared dead, and then was buried shortly thereafter. But 18 years later, he ends up walking up to Angela Narcisse in a village marketplace, and he kept insisting that he was her brother. After time went on, doctors and townspeople and family members all actually identified this man as Clairvius narcissae.
Yeah. He claimed that he was actually turned into a zombie from a combination of powerful neurotoxins and hallucinogens.
It's that tetrodotoxin. Tetrodotoxin, that's what it is. I said
It was what the dolphins get stoned on.
Yep.
You're on this, are you...
It's like...
You're part of this conspiracy, they're on this subject.
It's not a conspiracy.
The dolphins are getting high, man!
The dolphins are just getting high on some fucking pufferfish, man.
Just hope they don't get their hands on any DMT.
Oh my god, they become, self-aware.
They really would leave the fucking planet.
It'd be like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Exactly.
So long and thanks for all the fish.
Anyway, back to this. But yeah, Narcissae was declared dead and was buried there shortly thereafter. Was found by his sister, or he found his sister, and everybody identified him. And yes, me, Anki, you are right about him being all fucked up on that tetrodotoxin stuff.
Thank you.
Yes. A round of applause for me, Anki. Ew, that sounds gross. Don't do that. It is to be noted that after studying the Clairvius narcissae case, Wade Davis wrote his 1985 book titled The Serpent and the Rainbow, where a Harvard scientist delves into the secret societies of voodoo and zombies and magic.
That actually sounds like an interesting book, and I kind of want to read it.
It's also a movie.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, it is. It is out there in the film world and film version for the people who do not like words hitting their face.
I mean, you shouldn't be hitting your face with books.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're reading wrong. You got to keep it at a distance. Do we need to run through this again with you?
You guys are really mean to me. I'm gonna use my scent and make you go away. Don't make me power up. I get more smelly.
Oh no!
You just fart really hard.
The smell.
Chair vibrates and breaks.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, many researchers and anthropologists have tried to uncover what they could about the zombie from Haitian voodoo beliefs.
Okay.
In fact, an author, Zora Neale Hurston, went to Haiti to research for her book titled Tell My Horse. In 1943, she gave her view on what the zombie was during an interview. Her reply is as follows. A zombie is supposed to be the living dead, people who die and are resurrected, but without their souls. They can take orders, and they are supposed to never be tired, and to do what the master says. Sorry, I read that really slow.
So, wait, the book is titled Tell My Horse?
Yes. I don't know,
That's
Tim.
my horse.
Tell my horse. Yeah. You're a zombie horse. What? As the horse speaks. It's like a Mr. Ed knockoff.
What a twist.
But yeah, she gave her side of what the zombie actually was. Among novels and other great stories of the dead uprising for various reasons, there have been a flood of films which came out as well. The film White Zombie, released in 1932. A married couple planned to get married on a Haitian plantation. Haitian plantation. The owner plans to seduce the wife, and he gets his hand on some of that dirty fucking zombie powder. Yeah, it's all like, poof! And like, you're mine! And it's like, well, shucks. There goes my wife.
Is that the movie? Is that literally how the movie goes?
I haven't seen it, but I'm guessing. And I hope I'm not spot on, but that is White Zombie, not to be confused with the band White Zombie.
I'm gonna watch White Zombie while listening to White Zombie.
I wonder if it syncs up. Might sync up in some weird way.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It'd be cool. Compared to the 1968 film Night of the Living Dead by George Romero, this is where we see the ultimate turn in the Western culture when it came to the undead. They began eating people, shambling in groups and making a group of survivors hide out in a 2-story farmhouse. This also changed from the zombie powder being the only way that you can become one, to the idea that if you get bit, the saliva and other body fluids can infect you, and the infection certainly meant that you were going to die.
So basically, this is the transition between
Life and
reality and fiction.
Yes.
As of now.
As of now, this is where the idea started coming into like Hollywood, and the idea kind of became like a pop culture phenomenon. Things took another turn in 2003 when director Danny Boyle released his own version of the zombie apocalypse, 28 Days Later.
Yes.
Love that movie. That was one of my
Great
favorite
movie.
movies.
Classic.
That was my favorite.
Terrifying movie.
My favorite moment watching that was when the first time we were watching it together at Drew's house.
Oh, and the
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
yeah, that was funny.
Oh, that was a wonderful moment.
Well, that was the first time that they ran, right?
Yes,
Zombies.
actually.
That's
it
where
was
they
a vibe.
they completely changed
Yeah.
the idea of zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, there were other ones where like you see them like shambling or like getting kind of fast, but this was taken in a whole nother direction. This was the first time you see them like in full fucking sprint.
Yeah.
But it's also the first time that you see them kind of like using just their blood, like out of their mouth and puking and like their bodily fluids in general, just to infect you rather than a bite. You actually don't see anyone get bit in the 28 Days Later. I guess back-to-back feature. I was going to say trilogy. Duology. Thank you. Anyone get bit until like the first couple minutes into 28 Weeks Later. Yeah, 28 Weeks Later. But
Well, no.
yeah, you don't see anybody get bit. Name one person.
One of the soldiers.
Yeah. Soldiers. Where they were.
He's beating him. That's all you see. You see him ripping at him. You don't see him biting him.
Oh.
That's one thing I did take into consideration.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, if I'm wrong, somebody please put
'Cause
something down in the comments where you actually see that happening, because I do not for the life of me remember
Because
that.
I could have sworn that he bit him while he lunged, and then he started to hit him.
What are you
But
talking about?
the soldier
Anyway.
I'm talking about.
No. Yes, in this version and in its own right, they're not zombies. But it technically is. I mean, if we're gonna split hairs here, they are called the infected, but they're dead. They reanimated. They are just as much as zombies as the crazies were. The crazies were just a different type of zombie, which would be more realistic than anything.
Yeah, fair.
Just people going fucking crazy, and like you can get infected with other bodily fluids, and you go fucking insane. It's a crazy rage type of virus.
Which is what it was in
Yeah.
28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Which makes
Rage.
sense just because as time has gone on and we've learned more about just how the world works, they didn't know about like infections, they didn't know about germs and bacteria, viruses, stuff so far back when the zombie originated. Now as time's going on, the idea of zombies has changed and it's expanded to include like viruses, or like the rage virus from 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, or you have like there's like fungal zombies like from The Last of Us, which is
Yeah.
a wonderful game.
That was a really great
And then
take
you have
on
like crazy fucking changes to zombies, like kind of the concept of zombie, but with added extras when like the Halo games with the Flood, or Resident Evil with its fucking you know, Pat, you know more about that than I do, but
Well, they kind of went nuts with that, but yeah. They had their own versions of everything. There's many different versions of the zombie itself. I think that's just how it should be anyway. I mean, if one thing is just the exact same thing forever, everybody's going to know what to expect.
it stagnates and it dies.
Exactly,
You
and
gotta
that's
change it up.
Exactly.
Just do something new and unique every now and then. Try something different.
breath of fresh air.
Be brave!
Keep reanimating that corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep reanimating. Shout out to Reanimator, I guess. But in 28 Days Later, though, I don't mean to like keep coming back to this, but I think one of the scariest things, not just being bit, because in a lot of zombie movies, it always takes like hours. Eventually, you get like really sick, you get a fever, you fall into a coma, your heart stops, and then you come back. Whereas in this, you are dead within 20 seconds, and that is a fucking fact, and it looks painful. It looks like you're burning from the inside.
Yeah.
The scene
That was
with the dad.
Yeah, specifically that one. He's like
Blood came off
screaming.
of the, yeah.
fuck.
Oh,
He's
dude.
in pain.
Oh, yeah, that made, at least for me, the epitome of painful for when you're turning into a zombie. Every other time, it just seems like you're going to like get the flu and you're going to get the fever and pass out. I mean, not to say that that's not painful, but I haven't seen it done in a painful way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know the person's suffering, but they're not, like, screaming or like that, like bleeding from the fucking eyes and mouth and just going rage. You know, it's crazy. It's fucking nuts. But the Romero verse has its own set of rules. Some might say are less than realistic, but hey, let the guy do what he wants. After all, he is to thank for all of these zombie films. He's the first one that fucking like really did it how we know zombies.
Yep.
I will say though, Land of the Dead was just
Land of the Dead was fun.
where they were trying to learn how to like shoot guns and that was just like
I liked the movie for what it was, but I will say it was kind of a game changer and put me off for a while seeing, zombies use guns. I like Eugene A. Clarke. I met him. He's a great guy. He's really, really nice to his fans. I think is a great actor, great singer too. But I can't really stand by the film in a great zombie film. The idea was really good of barring off that island, just like this is where everybody lives. Everybody runs out and kind of like does runs for each other. Kind of had like a Mad Max almost dystopian type thing before like The Walking Dead came around, giving all these like civilization and villages like interacting parts,
yeah.
But the Romeroverse, it is what it is, and I like all the films for what they are. Not saying that they're all great, but they are worth a watch just to see what people can do with the ideas of zombies.
Yes.
What would you guys say is like your favorite zombie movie? Like, I don't mean to like pause and like stop doing shit, but
Shaun of the Dead.
oh, fucking name drop.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Shaun of the Dead was amazing.
Yeah.
Meat Henke?
Oh, favorite zombie movie would have to probably be 28 Days Later.
28 Days Later?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Zombies of Mass Destruction.
That's your favorite?
One of. It's hard to pick my favorite.
I will say that there are a lot of good ones, because now I'm starting to think like I Am Hero, Train to Busan.
One of the creepiest scenes, though, in 28 Days was when he first encounters
Oh, at the church?
them, and they just shoot
Oh,
up and they're
and
staring at
staring.
him. Just staring at him. It's
Oh.
like, fuck.
Danny Boyle knew exactly what to do for the cinematic effect, the atmosphere, and everything. I loved every moment of that fucking film from beginning to end. It was the new breath that the zombie genre needed.
Like, even to at the point of like the graininess of the film, it just made it so much more like
It was dark set. It had to
gritty
be.
and yeah.
It was realistic.
Very-
The building lights weren't on and so on. But moving on from 28 Days Later, there's many zombie films. Let's not forget Warm Bodies, because zombies need love too.
I actually surprisingly liked that movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it actually.
It was
Really?
pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I keep getting told that. I just haven't gotten around to actually watching it. Maybe tonight, actually. You know what? Fuck it.
Very funny.
Very funny.
But speaking of other big blockbusters, not just in films, but also in books, Max Brooks. Max Brooks is a household name now when it comes to the flesh-eating dead. You'll know him as the author of World War Z and the Zombie Survival Guide, telling you how you can stay alive and giving the do's and do-nots of the zombie apocalypse.
You've had that since you were like 12.
I got it the fucking day it came out. He goes into a step-by-step, he goes into a step above bringing the zombie outbreak to a whole new level as he gives you like a number of reports throughout history of actual zombie, outbreaks.
Yeah.
I mean, this is still classified in fiction, but it's just fun. It brings it in, almost makes it like feel real. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that one hit home to me, just like how scary stories to tell in the dark when we were kids. That
Yeah.
book. If you're into horror, you love those books.
Which they dropped the second trailer for that.
Yes, I saw that. It looks good.
I have not actually seen it. I haven't had a chance.
I like it. I'm going to take the film for what it is. I'm not going to hold my breath and have a huge high expectation, but
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, if you haven't really gotten around to checking out those Max Brooks books, you really should. World War Z is phenomenal.
Amazing.
It is not anywhere near like how the movie is. The book is better. I will say that. Like,
that's-
way
book,
better.
The book shits all over the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Like,
been that
good
way for most of the
performance.
time.
But
It really has. Sadly, it has. When the movie to book adaptions happen and stuff, and when the cross-form games to whatever, it's really hard to get exactly what the reader is envisioning too. To an extent.
I maintain that World War Z should have been done as a mini-series. The book is written in terms of like interviews, so like it could have been done like that. Like each episode is like a certain interviews, and they all coalesce together. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, and it was all over the planet too. Like it was crazy from where it started in fucking what was it?
China.
It was China?
It's originated in China. That was the start of it.
Because I remember it started in a
small
village.
Yeah,
it started in a village by that little boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, breaks out of his restraints and shit. Like, as you can see, we're already just like getting giddy about the book. It is so fucking detailed.
It's such a good read. Like, it really is.
That book made me love books.
Yeah.
Like, I still liked books, but like that was just like, I held it. It became my pillow. I kissed it at night. I told it I would always be there. But along with all these other outbreaks that he notes in his books, let's move on to like some of the other types of ways that we see the kind of virus spread. You know, we see in many different scenarios how the zombie apocalypse could actually happen, from like test monkeys and 28 Days Later to meteors and I think the undead, airborne viruses, WMDs, and bioweapons. There's really an unbelievable amount of ways that the undead could be used or could be brought to life, or at least in theory.
In theory.
But how true could it actually be? Well, theoretically it can actually happen, just not to the point where it's dead, where the dead feast on the actual living.
Where grandma comes out of her grave and throat punches your little sister and bites her neck?
Excuse me?
You're saying that's not going to happen?
It might.
Is that a realistic thing to happen? Grandma's going to come up from the ground and throat punch your little sister and bite her in the neck.
I don't have a little sister, so that would really creep me out either way.
Not with the decomposition and...
It'd just be a skeleton.
Like well, no, but like,
She'd look like a leather handbag.
wouldn't...
Just like drooping from the face, just like, give me a hug.
But wouldn't the brain like deteriorate?
You'd think, but like depending on like what theory you're going with, like one, explain the dead coming back to life. That will set a lot of stones in place as to what we play this basis off of.
Well, because I remember that one debate. I think we were all like, it was probably when I was like 17, and Tim talked about why it wasn't possible for the actual
Apocalypse
dead
zombie.
to yeah.
Well, no, I mean, unless some type of like weird mystical thing that we don't fully understand happens to where
Demons.
Yeah, and like a skeletons can literally walk around. That would be terrifying. Whether it had like an axe or anything like that, like Army of Darkness, or if it was just a skeleton trying to hit me with its arms, that's bone, dude. That's gonna hurt.
Ow!
Aliens.
Not to mention, if I was a skeleton, I was gonna, karate chop somebody to death. I just sharpen the edge of my hand. I wouldn't even use anything. I could grab other things and defend myself and shit. Not to give any of you would-be skeletons ideas on how to kill us.
Hey, cause for all the skeleton listeners.
Necromancers, don't listen.
No. Damn. Shit. Fuck.
Patent pending.
Patent pending.
Copyrighted, motherfucker.
I am not pending. Patent pending.
Hey,
stupid puns. But back to other things that are dead other than my life. Back in May of 2012, actually May 26th, the world was plagued by a very unnatural situation. People began eating each other.
Florida. In Florida, no less.
Yeah.
Florida man done it again.
It wasn't in every city, though. But I'm sure most of the zombie fans out there would know about Ruby Eugene. The whole Ruby Eugene case in Florida when...
That one was so fucked up.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Ruby Eugene ended up eating a homeless man's face who was known as Ronald Popo. He ended up eating his face off. He lost 75% of his face. Eugene, unfortunately, during this whole demonstration of whatever it was, ended up getting shot 9 times.
The entire time being shot, he's charging at the police officer.
He's not charging at the police officer. He's sitting there. He's eating the fucking dude's face, but then looks up at the cop and growls at him with dude's face hanging from his mouth. Like, if that's not a zombie, what the fuck is?
That had to be going through that cop's mind in that moment after he shoots him and he's just staring at him. He had to be thinking, "Oh, fuck me."
I would be absolutely terrified.
One of the few times I approve of shooting the assailant, because fuck that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, just like
If someone's got someone else's face in their mouth and they growl at you,
Shoot them.
yes, yeah, I think everyone is in agreement that you should probably shoot him.
In the head.
and stay the fuck away because something's going on.
Something's going
Burn
on
the
that
body.
you don't want to get involved in.
What if, like, that guy was, like, a huge fan of zombies, and he's just like, the moment I've been fucking waiting for, like, double tap, son of a bitch.
I don't
Starts
think
walking towards him. Fuck you!
I'm
He
just
just
gonna say
tosses
this.
the gun down, pulls out a knife.
Talking as an actual zombie, like huge zombie fan. I know we're all zombie fans here.
Yeah.
Realistically, I don't think any of us would be like that.
No.
We would be more tactical than that. We'd be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be keeping your distance. Like, I know what can happen. Like, don't come near me. And then, like, having to shoot him like that. And then he growls at you. Oh my god. I would just... I don't know what I'd do. I'd either fucking die of a heart attack right there, shit my pants and just let him eat me, or I'd fucking shoot him, get in my car, and then disappear somewhere north. Like,
north?
Because, it like, they go into it, actually, in Max Brooks's World War Z. I think... I'm pretty sure it's in that book. When they go up north, and the zombies freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then, like, frost comes, and, you know... I think they kind of talked about that also in The Walking Dead. When the zombies freeze, the frost comes and they start moving again. You know, but
just defrost. And then
it
go
gives
right
you
back
more
to
of a
it.
chance. But at the same time, like, you don't really have anything to eat unless you have like a huge caravan of fucking food, and not that many people to eat it, but be able to carry it, which is highly unlikely. I mean, they'll be shot and killed for that stuff. Like, it's an apocalypse. There's no rules. And everybody's going to go fucking crazy. Like, people are already going crazy nowadays, and there are rules. There are consequences. When there aren't consequences, no one's going to give a shit about anything. It's, like, the whole mentality behind it is going to go back to, like, survival of the fittest. But that's not how the universe... Not the universe, but the planet is going to survive.
Oh, yeah.
You need to be able to help another person out, but shit's going to get tough. And it's going to get really fucking crazy, but... If anything were to actually happen, I feel like it would happen just like this, because after Eugene was killed, a toxicology report was released. This is the real kicker here. They originally believed this to have something to do with bath salts, which eventually gave away to the term bath salt zombie. But there was nothing in his system to indicate that he ingested bath salts, LSD, or synthetic marijuana. He had nothing. Yet... There is the debate going on that, like, you know, drugs and the people who manufacture them, everything's evolving so fucking quick. A lot of people can't know how to test for certain chemicals without them, you know, being removed from the body in natural or whatever way, you know?
So you think this was some new trial drug or something?
I don't personally know. But it would make sense in a way, because this wasn't an isolated case.
There's a couple of them.
It was all around the world, and actually, I have a couple that are going to be coming up here. And it was weird. It was like I'll bring that up in a second. But testimonies from Eugene's family and friends state that he was actually a religious man, was nonviolent, and he also didn't drink or use drugs.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, if that is true, that is fucked. That is fucking scary as hell.
You could say that again.
It's so thought-provoking that, okay, if there is a drug out there, even if you're against drugs and everything like that, if you have kids, people do things in their teenage years that they think are certain things. Everybody has done it. If you haven't, well, then good for you. You got by. You're the 1%. You are the small fraction of people that actually got through things without taking anything. Congratulations. But there's a lot of people out there who do for better or for worse. And unfortunately, if this was a drug, like a trial drug, there would be a lot more people being affected by this, depending on who the manufacturer was, where it was being distributed, and so on, you know?
Yeah.
And that would still go on even up until today. But we're so muted from the fucking news and everything, not just political, but just anything, like things that are happening outside the United States. We get barred from a lot of stuff. So we don't always know. And I know information coming in, information going out, blah, 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 blah. But who knows, you know? Anyway, zombies don't deserve hugs because they'll fucking eat you.
Yeah, they might bite at you and throat punch you.
But it like I said, it is thought-provoking knowing that, you know, he didn't drink or use drugs, he was non-violent, and a very devout religious man. So would that freak you out if you guys had a family member that did that to somebody and then...
Fuck yeah.
Oh, I'd tweak.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I wouldn't know what to think.
Oh,
Like, I'm sorry to that family, but wow. It's a lot to take in, a lot to digest and just view, you know, just naturally.
There was 75% of face to take in.
However, I will say this, I don't know if I mentioned it. Ronald lived. The homeless man lived.
He lived. Didn't he get, facial surgery?
Yeah, he got his eyes eaten, his nose, lips, stuff like that, but he is alive.
God damn, he is a survivor.
Is alive, and like, wow. It's just amazing that things like this can actually happen without knowing how they actually happen. Everything's just kind of up in the air. And the fact that this did happen all over the fucking place. From different posts and reports, this wasn't an isolated incident. Through the year of 2012, more reports came in about people attacking others, eating others, and the like. All the way from here to China. The following, I have a couple different things and where they came from on the news sources. In the Huffington Post, June 21st, 2012, Florida man gets naked and eats flesh off of Jeffrey Blake. Huffington Post, June 18th, 2012. All of these are in 2012, so I'm just going to stop saying that. A man named Martinez spit blood and threatens to eat faces. He bit into a nurse's arm, kicking staff and officers in the face and saying that he was going to rape and eat their wives' faces. Faces off like the guy in Florida.
Okay. So I would say that's just a psychotic fucker there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all of this is like something's going on, but the fact that whether they know what they're doing or they're not, it's just... how much of it was happening in this time frame. It's weird. Because it mainly is between June and July of 2012.
No.
TheGrio.com on June 26th. Man eats roommate's dog in zombie-like attack. Reported from the Daily Mail, Michael Taryn Daniel of Texas reportedly claims that he was on a bad trip when he attacked his roommate and then choked their dog and began gnawing on it. He was arrested in Waco, Texas. I almost said arrested. He was arrested. CTV story 75981 on the 1st of June. 21-year-old Alexander Kinua was charged with first-degree murder and other offenses. He ate his roommate's brain and heart. He tried hiding the body parts and was later caught and exposed by his father. NorthJersey.com. This is on May 29th. Hackensack man stabbed himself and threw his intestines at officers. Officers entered his room to find Carter, the man in question, in the corner stabbing at his abdomen. When police got closer, Carter pulled out his flesh and intestines and threw them at the officers.
Huh. What the fuck?
That's a bad day at work.
Jesus.
That is a bad fucking day at work.
That is fucking like Silent Hill nightmarish.
That's a hellscape. That somebody was playing with that fucking puzzle box from Pinhead, dude.
Fucking
Cenobites and shit. Spygana.com on the 3rd of June. Mother beheads 3-week-old son and eats his brains. She used a knife and 2 swords.
To cut off the head?
Yes. And eat her fucking kid.
First off, I just want to say, how do you need 2 swords and a knife? This is a baby we're talking about. Not to be overly morbid here.
What do you want? Like a step-by-step on baby murder? Here you go, Dr. Seuss.
I'm just wondering why you needed a knife and 2 swords.
Red knife, blue life, ending your life.
I mean, I feel like it should have been. You shouldn't have needed so many knives. That's all I'm saying.
Horton, here's a baby murder.
Clearly, with a knife and 2 swords.
Holy shit.
I wish everybody could just see the fucking face that Meat Hanky gave me.
That was pretty fucking
Yeah.
enjoyable.
Dark humor. This one, I could not find the verifiable source of where it came from. But guy from Sweden eats his wife's lips off so she could never kiss another man. He was charged, but his charge was actually downgraded from murder to aggravated assault due to the fact that or attempted murder, I should say, because of the fact that he stayed there with her until the ambulance arrived. Yeah. It's like, oh, good on you, sport. We won't charge you with this. We'll lessen the crime because you...
Fuck Sweden.
That's weird. If that is true, like I said, I cannot verify that.
That's Sweden for you.
What, have you been to Sweden?
No.
Just like, oh man, they almost got me too.
They
like,
almost
this
ate
is
my
a bite
lips.
mark from '94. Huh?
Sweden incident.
The Sweden incident.
It's like someone robbing somebody and shooting them and then waiting for the fucking ambulance to come. And they're just like, oh, we're just going to let you off on the light warning.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't do it again.
It discharged when I was aiming at him, officer. Why were you aiming at him? I sneezed too hard. Just, oh yeah, because that makes sense. You're off of the hook. I'll slap on the wrist.
Sorry about that, old chap.
Oh, jolly good, jolly good.
Jolly good, boy.
VillageVoice.com on the 6th of June. Zombie apocalypse hits the bayou. Louisiana man and wow, man and all. On the 6th of June, zombie apocalypse hits the bayou. Louisiana man gnaws neighbor's face. That is a fucking tongue twister.
Louisiana man gnaws neighbor's face.
Yeah, say that 10 times fast.
I was going to say it, but I don't think people want to hear that.
And they just puke everywhere. On the 3rd of July, LongIslandPress.com, bus driver eats man face in China. He ran to a car and jumped on it, pounding on the shield and hood. The woman went to flee the car, but was stopped by the man who jumped on her and began eating her face. The man claims to have been drunk during the incident.
Because that's what I do when I get drunk. Eat people's faces.
I pounded a case of PBR and ate your wife.
Just a bottle of Jim Beam and munching on some faces.
Yeah, because what do you do on Thursdays, man?
Eat faces?
He's
Don't
like, I
ask,
just
I won't
said,
tell.
what else do you want from me?
Yeah. Don't ask and I won't tell.
Well, shit, man.
Yeah.
I thought this was a tell-all.
Nope.
Anyway, back to my original point that I was trying to get at. If the zombie apocalypse were to happen, it's going to happen like this. Almost a shot-for-shot remake of The Crazies. For whatever reason, people seem to just snap and begin acting out. But what gives them the strength that we've seen? You know, like being able to get shot 9 times and still be able to stand.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's pure rage. That does not convince me. And with other things not being able to come out during toxicology reports, and it was like, oh no, there weren't bath salts. In certain cases, yeah, there are bath salts. There are such things as bath salt zombies, and they're fucking nuts. But there's those cases that it has nothing to do with it. So what is it?
Uncle Edna.
Uncle Edna?
Yep.
What the
He's
fuck is
behind
Edna?
all of it.
Uncle Edna. He's the one that's caused it.
You guys gotta stop joining cults.
Who said it was a cult? I said it was Uncle Edna.
I don't know who Uncle Edna is.
Praise be him. Oh shit, I let that out, didn't I?
We're gonna have to talk about this.
Yeah, you might have to suck me out of another one.
Wait, what?
Anyway.
Whoa.
Meanwhile,
For those people... Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
not now. Okay.
Are you inside of a cult and need out? Call 1-800-GET-CULT.
Cultists After Dark. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen like this. But yeah, what gives them strength? Like, we see them with an overwhelming amount of power when they attack people that, like, people are literally defenseless.
Maybe it's something that just can't be explained.
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
That is a true horror. That is weird how we come from the whole voodoo aspect of the zombie to where we are now, where it went through the whole fiction thing, and the way it almost kind of manifests itself into our reality through a different way, but it can still be associated with the idea of a zombie.
Yeah.
You know, these people are dead. They are legally dead. Like, there's no fucking brain activity or whatever. Maybe there is, maybe there's not, but I don't know. I just can't help but wonder if, like, the people who suffered from this stuff remember or knew exactly what they were doing, or if they felt helpless, like if they were watching through their own eyes as, like, shit went on and they just could not fucking do anything. But it is still currently 2019 and people still wonder what has been happening 7 years ago, you know? Like, we still don't have answers. It's been 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just kind of forgot because that's the general climate nowadays.
I mean,
Something new happens, and that's you forget about what happened yesterday.
exactly why everybody's still wondering where the true origin of the zombies actually lie. Everything's debated. Everything is debated through finding certain documents and artifacts and so on throughout history. You can only trace it back so much, and it's just kind of like, you know, I guess you can carbon date stuff, but, like, I guess it really
There's
depends
only
on what
so
it is.
much that exists. What we even know about just through history. Who knows what could have happened pre-history, before we'd started documenting the world as it is.
I mean,
Could, like, a subconscious manifestation of something experienced by primitive man. Who knows? Could be anything.
yeah. I mean, maybe the Romans were actually onto something. Maybe they knew something that was going to happen.
Are you referring to Hadrian's Wall?
Well, I'm not really referring to really anything. Just in general, just I wonder if they knew something because of the burial practices that they had at the time about pinning a body down and, like, keeping them there so that way they wouldn't feast off the living. It was just, like, with heavy boulders and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's just, I wonder how far back it actually goes. Like, if we find more stuff and we find more proof that, like, weird shit like that happened. The fucked up thing about this is these so-called bath salt zombies are still being reported. And some still lack substance in their bodies to validate their reasoning. So, like, the bath salt zombie term isn't actually applicable, I guess, in the cases where they don't have anything in the autopsy. Unless it got out of their system for some reason before they died. But I don't know. That doesn't make any sense because they wouldn't have time to, like, you know,
Cleanse.
Yeah. Yeah,
If it's an autopsy, they're
well
dead.
on. Unless they're waiting for whatever reasons until they can, like, get rid of whatever proof.
Unless whatever they're on speeds up their metabolism to an unknown rate.
This is possible. Who knows what, like, this actually does? Because one of the facts that we do know about it is that they get overheated immensely. They take off their clothes because they're just sweating bullets and they go fucking insane.
So, rage virus then.
Exactly. Just the rage virus, the crazies, what have you. I mean, realistically, it'd be more like the crazies in the fact that, like, they're going to attack you but not infect you by puking blood into you. If that starts happening, I'm fucking out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. We are moving headquarters. We will still have a podcast for you survivors unless we die. But
As long as, the radio waves, the Wi-Fi still works.
we'll just go to a radio tower, broadcast our own thing. What are they going to do? Shut us down?
Truth.
Yeah, this is a zombie apocalypse. But yeah, it's all still happening. There's certain things are lacking verification. But funny enough, the CDC back in 2012 made a zombie preparedness plan. Though the thought behind it was that if you're prepared for a zombie apocalypse, you're pretty much prepared for, like, anything, any natural disaster and terrorist attack.
Yeah.
So they just slapped after all that shit's going down, they decided, might as well slap zombie into
I mean,
it.
realistically, it's a perfect move on their
It
part.
is.
Like, oh yeah, here, prepare for this. But, I mean, because everybody hears about, like, oh, you should be okay with a fire, you should know what to do in certain, like, if your butt's sinking, what do you do? So,
Shit.
yeah,
your
just
head
like,
between
sir,
your
I
knees
pooped.
and
That's
kiss
not
your
what you were
ass
told to
with
do. I'm sorry, it's running down my leg. I'm drowning. I don't know how to swim. Sarah, help me. Anyway, yeah, so they released that just so that way the public would actually be prepared for anything that might occur in the future.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a brilliant move because nobody's going to prepare for an earthquake or anything like that.
Yeah.
But to think that all of this stemmed from a mix of ancient burial sites, voodoo, and slavery. It's you know?
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, considering that, like, I don't know about you guys, but I knew next to nothing about zombies before I started researching a lot of this.
Besides what you see in the movies, yeah.
Yeah, besides that, but, like, unless you watch White Zombie or one of the old ones that...
Which I want to.
Yeah, or, like, the Serpent and the Rainbow and stuff, like, you're going to start seeing the cannibalistic side of all the monsters and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But one last thing I want to touch on before I'm pretty much done with all the facts. If you guys want to debate certain things, we can. But I'm surprised there has yet to be a zombie-based ancient times era film. Like, ancient times. Like, think how... oh, man, it was that Mel Gibson Apocalyptica or
Apocalypto.
Apocalypto, like that olden time type. I don't remember the time framing of that movie, but something around that time, like ancient tribes, maybe the Sumerians, Babylonians, fucking Aztecs or whatever, they could fight the fucking a zombie horde or something, you know? It'd just be a fun movie, you know? A fun film.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, it'd be very interesting.
But I have talked a shit ton, so yay, zombies.
Zombies is a fun topic.
It is fun. I think everybody should have their own type of, like, what if scenario.
I mean, how many times... We've spent years going through a what if. What
Exactly.
we would do.
Everybody should have one, though. So, because what if it does happen? That's why it's called a what if plan. But
One thing I know is don't trust the military.
yeah.
Their thing is to contain, and among other things that we've seen in films and read in books, just probably try to survive on your own with some close friends or...
Oh, I don't think that's going to be lasting too long.
Oh, no, definitely. I mean, you would need to grow as a
survivor,
group, but well, that too.
Well, also, I think it also depends on how big you're going to let your group get, because if it gets too big and you don't have enough resources, there are going to be internal struggles and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I'm a firm believer on probably with how the world is at that point, you're probably going to constantly be moving. You should, because no one place is safe. No place is safe. It's just a better opportunity to be okay for the night.
I know one place that would be safe. Kame House.
I mean, unless they're able to swim, or if they get on a boat and it fucking crashes onto the island.
Very quick invasion, though.
Like Dead Island.
It'd be a really quick dead island because there's only one fucking house. Oh, you'd be totally screwed. Be unbelievably screwed.
How about Kame's house? There you go.
That's the lookout.
The lookout.
Yeah.
Yeah, relatively safe.
Unless they fly. If you have flying zombies, you have vampires. Fuck that.
Stick your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye. There's no hope.
There's something that hasn't been done yet. Flying zombies.
It looked like a fucking a drugged out butterfly.
Yeah.
Mixed with
it'd be like a moth.
Flying squirrel zombies would be nuts.
Repeat that.
I want to say that one more time. Flying squirrel zombies would be nuts.
I hate you. Everybody, we just shot Rollo.
Yep.
You guys ever seen Zombeaver?
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
I don't want to see it.
That one was radiation.
That caused everything?
Yeah, from
radiation,
chemicals.
zombies, stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty good movies out there with zombies in it, but just as much as there are good ones, there are fucking atrocious ones. But let's not ramble on. We covered the history of everything. We hope that everything has been to your liking, and you learned a little bit from the information that we've gathered And we hope that your zombie preparedness plan is up to the CDC standards of 2012, because I don't think they've updated it.
No, I don't think they plan on it. Unless,
Well, I don't think they need to.
Unless there's another series of bath salt zombies.
And all that says is that we've been
Or
compromised, and then the site goes down.
Yeah.
Oh, I pack out myself. I'm done.
Nope, fuck it.
Well, I mean, the CDC is it in Atlanta?
I'm not sure exactly.
Or is it like...
I think that's what
New
they
York or
said
something?
in Walking Dead. I think it was in Atlanta, but I don't think it is.
I don't know. That's why I was just like, I don't know if that's right. I can't put my facts on a show. But
This was a fun episode.
yeah, this was a really fun
Yes.
episode. Talking the undead is always a pleasure.
It is.
But until next time, stay tuned on Facebook where we go live, and you can join us on certain episodes when we actually do decide to go live.
Yeah, you should follow our Facebook page to find out when we're going to be doing that, because that's the only place we're going to be able to announce it ahead of time.
Yes, unless you just want to wait for the podcast, but you can be part of the show. So why not do that?
Everyone wants to be part of the show.
Oh, yes, tell your stories, give your side of things, show us spooky stuff so that way we can promote it to the world. And you can do that by going to facebook.com/Witches Hill Radio or emailing us at witcheshillradio@gmail.com.
Otherwise, you could like, subscribe, follow on any and all social media. We're on everything.
And we hope you enjoyed our new segment on myths and legends and where they come from.
I can't wait till we do some more, because there's some good plans coming up. You guys are going to like it.
Oh, it's going to be a fun time.
It's going to be a great time. I'm going to love it. It's going to be spectacular. And we will see you Wednesday.
Yeah.
Witches Hill.